the day. That is also data wrangling.
Yes, ma'am.
And resolve impedance mismatch in task board renderer challenge boilerplate. Scroll down. So context about Kriya. Kriya is an application to manage and track tasks. Please pay attention. I would like to highlight, we have task board, we have task list. Yeah, we have task board, consists of board ID, board name, board description. Task list consists of list ID, board and list name. Followed with card. Card consists of card ID, card list ID, board ID, card title. The last one is comment. Comment ID, card ID, comment text and timestamp. So anything which is common between one component to another component, have you noticed?
Yes, ma'am. Board ID, list ID, card ID.
So how we have customer ID in orders table, orders array and customer array. So likewise, we have board ID, which is there in boards as well as list. List ID, which is there in list as well as card. Card ID, which is there in card component and comment component. So you need to apply filter for these comparisons. So you need to map all the records in board with board, whichever, or you need to traverse with all the details of board. With this board, you need to add list details, not all list details, only the list of board ID matches with board.board ID. You need to traverse all the list only matching with this board ID. And then you need to traverse card matching with list ID and then command which is matching with card ID. Scroll down.
Okay.
I handled for orders and customer ID. So you have to do it for all the components. Scroll down. You will be having board. This is a sample input format. So there were boards. Okay. So we have boards, we have two lists, and we have cards, and we have comments. Scroll up, no problem. This is our input. Scroll up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So we need to traverse with board, and if you notice, there were only one board. So in one board, you need to traverse with list. In list, we have two lists. So first list and second list. So whichever the list matches with board ID, that detail alone we need to display. And with the list 992 and 990, whichever it is matching, 992 alone it needs to display. Likewise, it goes till comment section. So this is your sample. This is just a sample. This is not the exact data. Come down. You need to retrieve output in this format. I know there is a mistake because we haven't dealt with members. So board ID, board followed with list, followed with card, followed with component. So I will confirm for this member after looking into your input file. I'm not sure with this member because member is not exist in our input. Scroll down. This is just a reference, guys. So here input format is not equal to the expected format. This is just an example. So you need to use the concept of wrangling for this impedance mismatch. Don't worry, they have provided all the implementation steps. Start with boards array. Transform the board array. Please look into the second point. Transform the board data such that each board data consists of board ID, board title, and list. So whichever the list you need to retrieve from list array. So board.board ID should matches with list.board ID. Those list alone you need to retrieve. And list consists of cards, whichever the card list ID, list.list ID matches with card.list ID. So followed, it continues till comments. It continues till comments. Please look into the last point. Perform filter operation on cards, perform filter operation on comments, cards, and your list. So according to me, only by using map and filter, you can complete this. So for clone, and it's very important, they have provided so many JavaScript file. Don't get confused. So you have to provide, come down, still the question not get over. You have to provide the solution code in your transform function. How I tried result function. So likewise, you have to try with transform function. Ensure that no other code gets modified. Don't do anything with any other JS file. They have provided lots of files. Don't touch any other file. You can refer, but don't do any modification. Please work on transform function, which is available in transformer.js. So you can launch index.html to view the output. So only if you provide the correct output, you will get the expected output on your console window. So scroll up. The question looks bigger. The thing is data wrangling. I did for order and customer. You need to do it for board, list, card, and comment. I'm sure everything's are familiar to you. Go to scripts folder. So when you have a time, please open this board. No, don't open now. You took analysis on board render, input, output script. And by the way, you need to do code under transformer.js. Click input.js. This is what the input they have provided. Come down, slowly come down. Go to list. So there is only one board. You will be finding many lists. So whichever the list matching with board ID, those record alone you need to display. Come down. You will be having huge data, I'm sure. Don't worry, irrespective of any number of data, you are aware of this, what was that component name? You don't make a mistake in this. That's all. Story over. Cards ID, list ID, followed with comment ID. Scroll up. Board ID. Scroll up. So cards, lists, board. Any query? Open transformer.js. Whatever we have tried in result function, callback, you need to try with transformer. Don't worry about importing, exporting the file. You directly refer it. Okay. So you have to write in transform callback function, and all the data has been provided with the name data. So inside your transformer, if you want to refer board, how you will refer? Guys, if you want to refer boards, how you will refer?
With the help of map.
Data
dot. Yeah. I'm asking a simple question. I know you people.
Data.boards.map or
my question was how we will refer those array object name.
Data.boards.
Oh, correct. So we will be using, let me do a simple thing. We will be using return keyword, return data dot boards dot what function?
Filter.
Filter and map.
Initially, we have to use only map.
Yeah.
Later only we will be using
Filter.
filter. Wait, I'll give you a hint. So all the data, irrespective of all the data, we are passing as a parameter and we are capturing it as a data. Data is a parameter. So what I want to return? So don't forget, it's an arrow function. I want to return. So use return data dot boards. Board is my key name, dot map. I'll repeat again, make clear. So return data, everything you need to refer with data dot boards dot map. So inside map, where I want to start, whatever the output you want. So we will be starting with board object, or you can give any name. So I want to start with the first record. So whatever you want to return from board, what you want to return? Board ID. So how to retrieve board ID?
Dot board ID.
Yeah. Board ID. So comma, whatever the data you want, very, very important. So after this, after board ID, after board name, what was the next component? List. Don't do anything. Don't refresh. Harshat, let it be. Don't do anything. Go to transformer itself.
Okay.
I am. It's getting refreshed and my annotation is getting automatically updated. Wait. So what will be there in list?
List ID or board ID.
Board ID.
I cannot refer list directly. So from board, I'm referring board ID, board name. It continuation of list. Imagine your data wrangling in list again, where I want to retrieve from my data. Where I want to refer by, I want to refer the object list dot. Do I want to traverse all the record?
No, ma'am, only the matching list ID.
So now you need to apply filter. What filter? So I need to apply filter where?
List ID.
Board ID.
So you can use any temporary object where? Here I used board dot board ID double equal to
List dot board ID.
I should use x dot board ID. Even I have provided partial code. Then again, whatever you want to return, you return it. After filter, again you apply map. You traverse with all the value, whatever the required output you return. Again, under list, we have cards. Under card, we have component. Take a snap of this. Complete it. I'm sure if you have understood my last example of data wrangling, you can complete this sprint within half an hour, hardly half an hour. Any query? Even reduce is not required. You can do everything with, if you want to return something, no. You go ahead with board and is that clear? Will you able to try? Will you able to continue and complete it? That's all. You go now. Don't clear my annotation. Harshat, you go to expected output. Do we have something called as expected output? Go back. Go to script.
Okay.
Go to
Yes,
expected
ma'am.
output. So you need to write. So I have provided. You need to provide boards. So return board ID, board title. Where is this member is coming? Do we have members in input file?
No,
I don't
ma'am.
know. No. Leave that member. There may be some error. I'm sure I saw only board. Board is having type list. List is having card. Card is having comment. By the way, this is not the actual output. Your actual output differs. So ensure that you are handling map followed with return output, followed with filter, again followed with map, return output, it continues. So tell me how many map function we need to use roughly. Come on guys, you can guess within few minutes, few seconds.
4.
4.
3 or 4?
3, ma'am.
No.
4, ma'am.
4, ma'am.
4. I should start traversing from board, then list, then card and comment. What about filter?
3.
3.
Correct. It's only 3 because I want to filter board ID with list ID, card, and then comment. All okay. Enough for the day. Thank you, Harshit.
Okay, ma'am. Shall I stop sharing?
Mhm.